Let's start our first news. Paddy Pimblett has officially stormed back into the UFC title picture, and the lightweight division has suddenly become a lot more interesting. Following his spectacular 52-second submission victory over Benoit Saint-Denis at UFC 329, the Scouser received a huge boost in the latest rankings and finally silenced many of the doubters surrounding his rise through the division. The dominant performance pushed Paddy all the way up to the number 5 position in both the media and meta UFC rankings, placing him firmly among the elite names at 155 pounds. With Paddy now sitting comfortably inside the top 5, the entire championship landscape has been completely shaken up. A potential showdown with Ilia is already gaining momentum as one of the biggest fights the UFC could make next. Despite both men coming off recent setbacks, the rivalry, bad blood, and star power behind that matchup make it one of the most intriguing contests available in the division right now. Meanwhile, Diego Lopes appears ready for a new challenge of his own. During a recent appearance, Diego confirmed that his next fight will take place at lightweight, immediately creating speculation about possible opponents and future title implications. When asked about a potential clash with Paddy, Diego laughed and made it clear that he wants to fight everybody. He also hinted at several exciting possibilities after revealing that he had been watching Charles Oliveira closely and even floated the idea of a future BMF fight. One name Diego specifically mentioned was Arman, believing he would be phenomenal in a BMF showdown. As for his own championship ambitions, Diego admitted that a featherweight title shot before the end of 2026 is unlikely, but with 2 divisions now in play, his opportunities have doubled. Adding even more drama to the lightweight division, Dana White surprisingly admitted that allowing Ilia to leave his natural weight class may have been a mistake. Move on to another news. Dana White has surprisingly admitted that Ilia may have made the wrong decision by moving away from the featherweight division. According to Dana, the former 145-pound king should have remained at featherweight instead of making the jump to lightweight, where he eventually faced Justin and suffered a disappointing defeat. The loss immediately sparked debates throughout the MMA world, with many fans wondering whether the move came too early or whether Ilia simply underestimated the challenge waiting for him at 155 pounds. Justin offered his own explanation for what happened inside the cage, claiming that Ilia's downfall had very little to do with physical ability and everything to do with mentality. According to the lightweight champion, Ilia entered the fight expecting an early finish and complete domination, but when that quick stoppage failed to happen, everything began to change. Justin believes the momentum shifted dramatically after the second round, with Ilia slowly losing confidence as the fight continued. The pressure of his own predictions and promises of total destruction may have eventually become too much to carry inside such a high-stakes championship fight. Ironically, despite winning the undisputed lightweight title, Justin has found himself facing a massive wave of criticism from sections of the MMA community. Many fans have accused the new champion of avoiding the toughest and most dangerous matchups available in the division. The criticism only intensified after Justin publicly stated that Ilia does not deserve an immediate rematch. He also showed little interest in a potential showdown with Paddy Pimblett, removing another blockbuster option from the table. To make matters even worse for fans hoping for another classic encounter, Justin reportedly shut down the possibility of running things back with Max Holloway as well. When Dana was asked what truly went wrong for Ilia, his response was simple and direct. According to the UFC president, moving away from featherweight may have been the biggest mistake of all. Move on to another news. Plessis has officially revealed that a move to the light heavyweight division remains part of his long-term plans, but only after he reclaims the middleweight championship that he believes still belongs to him. As speculation continues to grow around the future of the division, Plessis made it clear that he has absolutely no interest in seeing an immediate title rematch between reigning champion Sean Strickland and Khamzat. In his view, the idea simply makes no sense. According to Plessis, title shots should be earned, not handed out automatically after a loss. He pointed to the fact that Khamzat never defended the middleweight title before losing it, making an immediate rematch difficult to justify from a competitive standpoint. Instead of focusing on what the UFC decides to do, Du Plessis plans to take matters into his own hands inside the cage. This weekend, he steps into one of the biggest fights of his career against former welterweight king Kamaru Usman, and he believes a dominant performance will instantly push him back to the front of the championship line. Even more importantly, Du Plessis promised fans that his performance will remove any doubt about who deserves the next opportunity at middleweight gold. Confidence has never been a problem for the former champion, especially considering his history with Sean Strickland. Having already defeated Strickland twice, Du Plessis believes another title opportunity would be impossible to deny if he can add a victory over a legend like Usman to his resume. Of course, Usman enters the fight with plenty to gain as well. The former champion is searching for one final run at UFC Gold and already owns a victory over Strickland from years ago at welterweight. A win here could completely reshape the title picture and place him directly back into contention. Speaking about the current state of the division, Du Plessis admitted that after losing his last fight, he cannot afford to make bold demands or issue ultimatums. Instead, he intends to let his actions speak louder than his words. With fight night rapidly approaching, he promised to do his talking inside the octagon and prove once again why he still considers himself the best fighter in the world. When asked which opponent he would prefer in a future title fight, Du Plessis did not hesitate. His preferred option is Khamzat, believing that matchup carries the biggest stakes, the biggest storyline, and the biggest opportunity to reclaim his place at the very top of the division. Move on to another news. Diego Lopes is wasting absolutely no time when it comes to planning the next stage of his UFC journey, and his latest comments may have just shaken up the entire BMF title conversation. While discussing potential opponents and future opportunities, Diego made it clear that he is targeting the biggest names available, regardless of weight class or rankings. Although a possible showdown with Charles Oliveira remains an exciting option, Diego introduced a completely unexpected name into the discussion that immediately grabbed the attention of fans across the MMA world. That name was Arman. According to Diego, Arman possesses exactly the type of aggressive style, relentless pace, and exciting approach that perfectly fits the spirit of a BMF championship fight. Rather than chasing easier matchups or taking a slower path toward title contention, Diego appears determined to test himself against the very best fighters the sport has to offer. The call-out instantly created major buzz among fans, with many already imagining the fireworks such a matchup could deliver inside the octagon. Both men are known for pushing a brutal pace, refusing to take backward steps, and constantly searching for finishes whenever an opportunity presents itself. For Diego, the message could not be any clearer. He wants fights that matter, fights that excite the audience, and fights that place him directly in the center of the UFC spotlight. The possibility of competing for the BMF belt also represents a massive opportunity to elevate his profile even further and potentially accelerate his path toward championship contention in multiple divisions. Meanwhile, the lightweight division continues to become increasingly crowded, with elite contenders fighting for position near the top of the rankings. One fighter who has recently strengthened his own standing is Paddy Pimblett. Following his spectacular performances and continued rise through the division, Paddy has officially established himself as a legitimate threat to the lightweight elite. With new contenders emerging, former champions looking for redemption, and blockbuster fights being discussed almost daily, the race for lightweight supremacy has become more competitive than ever before. As for Diego, his intentions are crystal clear. He is aiming directly for the top of the food chain. And if a BMF showdown with Arman becomes reality, it could instantly become one of the most anticipated fights the UFC can possibly make. Move on to another news. One of the boldest statements in recent MMA discussions has just come from renowned coach Firas Zahabi, and it involves none other than former lightweight champion Khabib. According to the highly respected TriStar head coach, Khabib was not simply one of the greatest fighters of his generation. In Zahabi's eyes, the undefeated legend was so far ahead of his time that he would still dominate the lightweight division even in today's era of elite competition. The statement immediately sparked intense debate across the MMA community, especially considering the level of talent currently competing at 155 pounds. Zahabi explained that he believes Prime Khabib would defeat every top lightweight in the world right now, including the biggest names currently sitting at the top of the rankings. Among those names were reigning lightweight champion Justin and former featherweight king Ilia, two fighters widely regarded as some of the most dangerous competitors in the sport today. However, Zahabi did not stop there. In what may be his most shocking claim yet, the veteran coach stated that if Prime Khabib were scheduled to fight Ilia in a 5-round main event and then return later that very same night for another 5-round battle against Justin, he would still pick Khabib to emerge victorious in both contests. That prediction alone perfectly illustrates the level of confidence Zahabi has in the former champion's abilities and legacy. For many fans, Khabib's dominance during his undefeated run remains unmatched. His relentless pressure, suffocating wrestling, elite control, and ability to completely shut down world-class opponents created an aura that very few fighters in UFC history have ever managed to achieve. Even years after retirement, debates continue regarding how Khabib would perform against the modern generation of lightweight stars. Supporters point to his undefeated record, dominant victories over elite competition, and seemingly effortless ability to impose his game plan against every opponent placed in front of him. Critics, on the other hand, argue that today's lightweight division has evolved significantly and presents new challenges that previous generations never faced. Regardless of where fans stand in the debate, one thing remains absolutely certain. Firas Zahabi believes Prime Khabib was something truly special, and in his view, he would still be the king of the lightweight division today, even if that meant defeating Ilia and Justin on the very same night. Move on to another news. The debate surrounding Ilia's future at lightweight has exploded once again after longtime Team Khabib member Josh Thompson argued that the former featherweight champion is simply too small to survive long-term at 155 pounds. Speaking about the current state of the lightweight division, Thompson claimed that Ilia would be far better off returning to featherweight, where he believes the former champion could dominate for years, instead of battling naturally larger opponents every single fight. According to Thompson, the size difference at lightweight eventually becomes impossible to ignore, especially against the division's elite contenders. He pointed directly to Arman as one of the biggest problems for Ilia, arguing that the elite contender possesses a level of physical strength, wrestling pressure, and overall size that would create enormous challenges inside the cage. Thompson also highlighted the physical advantages held by fighters like Paddy Pimblett and Benoit Saint-Denis, suggesting that Ilia could certainly compete with those opponents, but would likely absorb significant damage in the process. In his opinion, returning to featherweight would give Ilia the opportunity to build a legendary championship reign rather than engage in dangerous battles against bigger men at lightweight. Thompson even suggested that Ilia could reclaim the featherweight title, defend it repeatedly, and establish himself as one of the division's all-time great champions before considering another move to lightweight later in his career. However, many fans were quick to challenge that argument. Supporters immediately pointed to Ilia's lightweight debut against Charles Oliveira for the vacant championship at UFC 317. Despite facing one of the most dangerous submission specialists in UFC history, Ilia managed to neutralize the Brazilian's grappling attack, reverse an early takedown attempt, and score a devastating first-round knockout victory. For many observers, that performance proved that skill can sometimes overcome size disadvantages. Still, the discussion continues to divide opinion throughout the MMA community, with some believing Ilia belongs at featherweight, while others remain convinced he has all the tools necessary to succeed among the lightweight elite. Move on to another news. Conor is reportedly pushing for the result of his UFC 329 clash with Max Holloway to be overturned following the unfortunate injury that ended his long-awaited return to the octagon. After having some time to process what happened, Conor believes the bout should be ruled a no contest rather than remain on his professional record as a loss. The former two-division champion shared his thoughts publicly, stating that the circumstances surrounding the injury justify a different outcome. The injury itself quickly became one of the most heartbreaking moments of UFC 329. Fans who waited years to see Conor compete again watched the comeback unravel almost immediately, while many supporters who believed he could upset Max saw their hopes disappear within moments. Shortly after the event, Conor revealed that medical scans on his leg were scheduled and expressed optimism about the results. He also stated that he believed the fight should be declared a no contest and that wagers placed on the contest should be refunded. However, according to standard MMA rules, injuries alone are generally not enough to overturn a fight result. A no contest is typically reserved for situations involving accidental fouls or illegal actions, such as eye pokes, accidental clashes of heads, or low blows that prevent the contest from continuing. When an injury occurs as a result of a fighter's own movement, strike, or defensive action, the outcome is usually recorded as a TKO loss if the fighter cannot continue. Because of that, many analysts believe the chances of the result being changed are extremely low. The focus now shifts toward Conor's recovery timeline and the severity of the injury itself. Supporters across the MMA world are hoping for positive news and a quick return to training. Despite the disappointing outcome, many fans still believe Conor's greatest weapon has always been his technique, timing, and precision, rather than athletic explosiveness alone. If he does make another return, adapting his style and relying on those strengths could prove crucial for the next chapter of his career.